Good evening, welcome to the Encore Lounge at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre, where I have two of the Jersey boys who are with us until the 8th of September. We have Lewis Griffiths, Nick Massey, and Simon Bailey, Tommy DeVito. How are you doing both?
Good, thank you.
Very
How
well.
are you?
Well, good to have you here, and certainly enjoying the show. It's one of those shows that I saw last time it came round. I think you were with us.
I was,
You
yeah.
were with us then. But it's one. I could go and see it every night. The run, I'd be quite happy. It's just fantastic music, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you must see so many familiar faces when you're doing a show like this.
Well, the
Staring
regular
back into
fans,
the audience,
fan, it does have its entourage of,
Yeah.
of faithful fans, doesn't
Absolutely, and rightly so. This is one of the only shows that after I first saw it, I've seen it about 8 times, and I don't often go and see
it? Only 8 times.
only 8. Well, I thought I'd just be in it instead.
Yeah, well, you get to do more then.
It just saved me a lot of money. Do you know that's the reason why I'm
You love the
Yeah,
song
that's
so
right.
much.
I love the song. I just thought I'd be in it, and then I can just be paid to be in it, which is great.
And with all of those familiar faces, it must come the pressure to perform every single night. I mean, the pressure's on anyway. You're on stage in front of thousands of people, but it must be even more difficult when you know there's people who know the words as well as you do in the audience.
I actually sweat a bit more when I know it's a captioned
I
performance.
was just about to say that because I know I've definitely got a couple of words which are my own
Yeah,
version.
you do. You do, because you get immersed in the part, you get
Yeah.
immersed in the script. However,
Yeah.
the script temporarily, even if it's for a nanosecond,
Yeah.
goes out the window, and you just think, I know what I'm saying, I know what I'm trying to drive the story here, and you may paraphrase the odd word,
Yeah.
and it makes perfect sense to you because we do it how many times
Yeah,
a week.
exactly.
But the audience who are reading it going, that's not what he
That's
said.
not right.
That's not right.
Yeah. Well, no, because a lot of the time as well, isn't it? It's not like it's like you can't see it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's right in your eye line. So you're trying not to read it to make sure that you're getting it right.
It's like
not-
living
it's all wrong.
subtitles.
Yeah, no, it's not auto cue. Yeah.
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 It's like living a TV show with your own subtitles.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd.
Yeah.
Well, introduce us to each of your characters then. So tell us a bit about Nick.
I play Nick Massey,
Yep.
who is I like to refer to as the strong silent type. He's
On his Tinder profile.
because he doesn't actually say much. But the reason he doesn't say much is because he is the strong silent type. He's got a lot. He's a linchpin character of the show, as is all of the 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Without a Nick, you wouldn't have the 4 seasons. Without a Tommy, you wouldn't have the 4 seasons, as with Bob and Frankie. But he's very quiet, and that's deliberate because he gets the gear shift in the second act, where he gets to finally speak up and say, this story is a timeline, and it's told from 4 different perspectives, each narrated by the 4 seasons. And Nick's kind of got a little darker twist to the story, so it's not all wine and roses.
Well, and that is the thing about the whole tale, and it wouldn't work without any of them, and you wouldn't have the 4 seasons and the music that we have to look back on
Exactly.
if it hadn't been for everything that took place.
Yeah.
And certainly your character's got quite a history, and it's made the whole thing happen.
Definitely. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Tommy starts the show. I mean, I don't think that's any accident whatsoever. I mean, I think he purposefully starts the show, and he narrates the first section of the show because he was the one who essentially was kind of the genesis. You know, like, I mean, with various different formations of different groups. You know, he kind of tried, and Tommy says, you know, like, you got 3 ways of survival. Basically, you can go into the mob, you can join the army, or you can basically end up dead, or you can be a star. You know, like, so it's kind of his determination to succeed is what shows massively in this show. I mean, because he is, I guess, the bad boy of the piece, but then
The lovable rogue.
Yeah. But then without his actions and without his dogged determination, questionable methods, but dogged determination, there wouldn't be a 4 seasons because the meetings wouldn't happen with Joe Pesci to find Bob Gaudio, and he wouldn't have found, you know, we wouldn't be in a group with this guy, and blah, 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 you know. So, like you rightly say, you wouldn't have had the 4 seasons without each one of those brilliant individual parts. But I guess Tommy did kind of steer things in that direction, you know. And
He was the engine of the group,
engine,
wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
But as a member of the audience, you're willing it not to go wrong for these lads because they're all likeable.
Yeah.
But you know the way it's going to go. I've seen the show before. I knew exactly how it's going to happen this
Yeah.
time, same as last time.
Interesting
with
you
great
should say
news.
that, though, because at any point the story could go wrong and could derail, and that's our job to make sure that everybody is on the edge of their seats following that what if.
Yeah.
That's always the danger of the show, and that's why it's so relative.
One of the great bits of direction that we had from Richard Hester, who came over from America to come and just kind of clean up the show a bit. He said to us, as we were kind of, I guess everyone gets comfortable in a run, especially when you go for so long. And he came in and he said, okay, so I want you to play tonight as if you don't know what's going to happen, and as if not so much not going to happen, but this could go wrong. Rather than like, I know what's going to happen.
You've not made it yet.
The money here, but
you've not made it yet.
This might go wrong, and play the danger of that. And actually, it's a brilliant bit of direction, especially in this show, because like you say, at any point,
you feel
this
it could
house
change,
of cards could come down.
Well, if you haven't got any questions for us and the boys, do let us know. What you got to do is comment on the bottom of the Facebook page, and we'll look at those as we go along, because we are watching. I am watching us online, so we can do that. But equally, I mean, with the story itself, whose story are we telling from their point of view? Because somebody's written this. And now, did all the surviving lads get involved, or was it a little bit more Frankie orientated? Because he certainly, if it were to be, it doesn't feel that way. You feel like you get a genuine tale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, like, I think it's probably more Frankie and Bob. The majority, I think, has probably come.
But they don't always come out swinging their roses in this.
But I think they're very honest. They're very
human.
honest guys. You know, they're very honest.
Yeah.
Like Frankie's a very honest New Jersey guy. It's like this is the story. This is the story that we're telling. That story.
And loyal as a dog.
You know, exactly. You know, so he didn't want to tell some kind of wishy-washy story, which kind of was the story of the Four Seasons, but maybe wasn't. And he thought, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it. You know, and we're telling this story. And sometimes I don't come out so great. Sometimes he doesn't come out so great. But we sold over 100 million records, and people deserve to know how we did it.
It's unquestionable that the Four Seasons as a group were successful, but without highlighting the shadier parts of their success, you can't have the yin without the yang. You need the shade to produce the light.
It's all part of that.
Exactly.
Tale. It's all of what made the Jersey Boys.
Every little puzzle piece fits together.
Yeah.
Including the language. You must have great fun swearing at each other on stage every night.
That's great.
Wonderful.
None of that language now, please.
No, absolutely not. We're live.
Have you got favourite words? No, let's not go there. But it is a bit of New Jersey brought to life on stage. And that in itself, I mean, the way you look, okay, you've got your quiff. You can't help but know
I'll take this off.
But I think you age as you go through the show, and then, but as required.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, it's not told in the space of a year. You're spanning
decades.
Here.
Yeah.
So you have to. I mean, I think Tommy is the oldest of the four. So I start off a bit older, but yeah, I mean, obviously everyone ages, but you do have to show that. You have to show that aging process, because you can't go from the 50s to 1990 and just have the same kind of mannerisms, and because you have to age yourself.
They're old men once they're inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it needs to show. They need to have that life experience and wisdom behind the eyes, so that when you're relaying the script and the story and their final soliloquy, for want of another way of putting it, to the audience, they can see that, God, these guys have lived.
Yeah.
They've got something to tell, and we've just sat here and witnessed it.
Yeah. Well,
and they've all got a bullet point. That's what I like, is the fact that when they finish the show, everyone's got their thing of going, and I did that.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is great, because you get that. It's like a summation. It's like the lawyer's final summation to the jury. It's like, you can think what you like about me or blah, 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 but this is what I did. And I love that.
We're getting fan comments coming from the guys who've seen you in London. Final night in Piccadilly was unbelievable, we've been told. Teresa Wright says, when you're coming back to London, they're missing you. Well, we've got them until the 8th of September. You can come and visit them here at the ground in Wolverhampton. It'll be an absolutely fantastic time for you. It's one train journey away. Come and do it. But it is that sort of reaction that you're getting from the audiences. I mean, how does what you've done before bring you to this point as well? Simon, first of all.
I mean, I think any experience is good experience. I mean, especially with a show like this. I mean, it's very. This show is very text heavy, and it requires. I think this show requires experience to be in these positions, because the ball cannot drop. That's just the way this show is has been devised. I mean, it is so fast paced that you just have to keep going. You have to know you have to kind of be 3 steps ahead, and then so experience helps with that. You know, I've been kicking around for a little bit, you know, so we have a bit of experience. You know, I have a bit of experience, and I think you have to know with this show, it's driven hard certainly by the 4 guys, but by everybody in it.
Yeah.
You know, like this is not just about 4 people. This is telling this is their life. You know, so you have people who have come in from their life and have inspired some event and some moment, and everything has to interweave so perfectly, because that's what the script demands, and that's what's so lovely about this show, and it's certainly what made me want to come back, to do it again, is the fact that you very rarely get a script which is just so well put together, and you need a very talented bunch of people to tell that story properly.
Absolutely.
And certainly we have that, and I mean, Lewis, this isn't your first time at the Grand, is it, we've said before?
No, and not with this show either.
No.
I was on the first Jersey Boys tour, and going back to what Simon was saying about having that experience, because it was the first tour and my first experience with, oh God, he's just got a program out.
Yeah, I need to see this.
I was just taking a little trip further back in time, but no, keep the story going.
Well, I was just going back to the experience of Jersey Boys. I kind of developed great, yeah, I know. Look at that! Look at that! I know, boy, fantastic.
This is from the archive, so yeah. Would you just,
I lost.
I'm just going to go this way first of all, so we can zoom in on it. But there we go. That is.
Just get a little slice of that for the viewers.
2006, Snow White and the Seven.
My God, was it that long ago?
It was that long ago. But so there you go. Take a look. That is from the archive. You can't have that, unfortunately, because that's our archive copy.
No, it's fine. I'll give this back to the remaining members of NSYNC.
I'm honoured. That's what I was going for.
But to have that sort of career and to do this sort of stuff, and to go from wearing lycra to wearing the Jersey Boys blazer, I mean, it does show what you.
I was going to go on to, before I was blatantly shamed live on Facebook, to say that the experience of doing the first tour brought me to this point, and I can bring the experience of the first tour, and it developed me as a person.
Yeah.
And I kind of tapped it. I'm not saying I went method, but I'd most definitely tapped into a lot of the spirit of Nick Massey, for fear of sounding very theatrical. I have an affinity with him now, and when or at least with the part. So when the producers requested that I come back to this production, I said, hands down, no question,
absolutely
yes,
had to do it.
because there's unfinished business on my part, and it was a genuine pleasure to play. So.
Well, you are Nick Massey to so many people who've seen this in wherever.
Yeah, I hadn't considered that. I mean, like a lot of people who lovingly saw the last production of Jersey Boys in London was some of their first experience of Jersey Boys. So you are Tommy, and you are Tommy to the touring nation as well.
Yes. Well, give a few shout outs to people watching. Janice Austin, who says big hello guys, so back that one at you.
Hi.
Liz Tipper, brilliant show last night, and enjoyed the Q&A. So that was jolly good too. Maureen Preen, so sorry you were poorly missed your performance last Wednesday, so that was unfortunate on that one. So we have had a few little glitches along the line.
We have. That's
the show must
theatre,
go
I'm afraid.
on, and that's the way it is, isn't it? So,
but we have an incredible company of covers, understudies, swings, alternates. So what you will come and see in Wolverhampton, what you will come and see in Southampton, what you will come and see in Edinburgh.
You couldn't think of the Hampton.
I couldn't. No. Literally still thinking of another Hampton.
Can't go there.
But whatever company, whatever city we're in, you will see London West End standard performance from whoever is on stage. So this is the story. It's not about who's on. It's not about who's playing what part. Because this company, we were talking about this last night in the Q&A, that there's a tagline in the show that family is everything, and by God, this family have all rallied together and formed this touring production as a family. Yeah,
well, absolutely fantastic. One thing we do need to test, though, is your understanding of the Four Seasons pizza. Now, this stems out of press night when we had pizza in the interval. We were very, very lucky. We were fed. The Grand do look after all the press down here, which is always great. And Adam came up, I think, with a concept working with Scott that we needed pizza. So we've actually got 2 pizza bases for you to create your own Four Seasons pizza, and we will be judging you. Okay.
Okay.
So no moments. You had the shame of the programme from yesteryear. So let's see how we do this.
The gloves are off.
I'm going to move the table in. So we have a pizza each for you.
Right.
And we have a bowl of ingredients. So you can stand up for this bit.
4 seasons.
So you'll need to create a 4 seasons pizza. I reckon we're going to give you about a minute or so each. Each of the ingredients will stick down so we can show the camera your work. So if you want to put together your pizza, your time starts now.
Right, okay, well, let's
see how this goes. Now, I've never had a 4 seasons pizza. I'm more barbecue sauce, chicken and pineapple.
Can't beat a Hawaiian. For me, I'm a Hawaiian.
Why would you have pineapple?
Pineapple belongs on a pizza. There we go. That's the yin and the yang right there.
Absolutely.
The antithesis of pizza.
Right.
See how we get on. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
You've lost what looks like an artichoke down there, but we'll keep going.
Well, sometimes you just got to lose an artichoke.
It's the way it goes.
This is what my mum always tells me.
I try not to choke when I'm eating pizza.
I like the fact that we have got some little cutouts of the guys' heads, and which is the shock reaction they saw there, and we've got certainly pretty much the entire 4 seasons cast coming up here.
Yep, absolutely.
I should imagine so.
I'm missing a Tommy. No, we're not.
We managed to find him.
That sounds
all
about
good.
right, though, to be fair.
It could be anywhere. Probably in prison, to be honest. But that's probably what was going on.
I'm gonna go with.
Is that chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got chocolate on his pizza.
Again.
Anybody who knows me,
Why?
it's all about the chocolate and the pineapple.
Okay, so 10 seconds before let's see how we've done.
Well, oh, right.
5,
I don't want that.
4,
I don't want these.
3, 2, 1. Okay, right. So, first of all, Simon, talk me through your pizza. You've got 3 seasons on there.
Oh wait, hang on. Right.
We let you out.
Find him.
Oh, I've dropped an
Stick
anchovy.
Lewis on.
Talk me through.
No, hold it for the camera so the audience
Do you
at
know
home
what?
can watch.
Have I stuck it properly? This could
Okay,
go
let's see how we do.
dramatically wrong.
So
Right.
you've got pineapple.
I haven't.
Is it? No. It's a mushroom. I'm getting
Never.
confused. I'm not very good
Never.
at these things.
I've got
Vegetables.
mushroom.
Not the pineapple.
I wasn't entirely sure if it was like what we want or what you thought a 4 seasons pizza was, because I don't know that either. I've got a mushroom, even though I don't like mushrooms. Tomato, salami.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's ham.
Right.
And then I've got our 4 little.
Got the
mug
boys.
shots, because I thought if any four seasons pizza is going to be complete.
Needs.
Well.
Go on. All the way.
There we go. Oh, look at that. The magic.
It's like it was planned.
Yeah.
It's like,
We've got a head falling off. Okay,
Yeah, there we
right.
go.
So that's yours,
me.
Simon. And Lewis,
Well,
talk us through.
I thought along the same lines as Simon, do we actually go for what we think a 4 seasons pizza is? Or being a season, one of the 4, I went for my favourite things on a pizza. Not necessarily on a pizza, but I love chocolate and pineapple has to be on a pizza.
I think that could easily work. I'm not sure about the tomato with the rest of that, but I'd probably lose the tomato. Pineapple and chocolate, that's going to be good.
But that we can't lose it now because that's cheating.
James Austin says
Hey.
that she can get a job at Pizza Hut, so she's impressed with your skills. So that works rather well. Well, thank you, boys.
Pleasure.
It's been a good bit of fun. It's an absolutely excellent show. Runs right the way through until Saturday the 8th. Come down and see it here at Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre as we run into September. 01902 429212, the box office number, or grandtheatre.co.uk to get your tickets online. Come and see a fantastic cast. Break a leg. We love having you here, and I know there's going to be people who are going to be coming several times before the show runs.
Excellent.
Hope so.
But Lewis and Simon, thank you for joining us.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.